Right, we're getting some breaking news. Southeast Asian nations and China have reached what they say is a milestone in talks with China over the South China Sea. A working text will serve as a basis for future negotiations. Singapore's foreign minister has said this. Remember, China has been criticized for militarization of the South China Sea.
Today, I'm pleased to announce yet another milestone in the COC process. At the recent COC talks in Changsha, China, in June 2018, the ASEAN member states and China have arrived at a single draft COC negotiating text. This will be a living document, and it will be the basis for future COC negotiations.
All right, for more on this, I'm joined by WION correspondent Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, for the benefit of our viewers, could you please simplify what exactly is this milestone that these countries claim to have achieved as far as the South China Sea issue is concerned?
Well, it's a draft of a text which will serve as a future when there will be negotiations between China and ASEAN over that region, over South China Sea. So this will be the basis. And this basically is a draft, and the final, the details are still not out. Only announcement is done by the Singaporean foreign minister and China's foreign minister, because right now, as we speak, there's a meet going on in Singapore between ASEAN leaders and China, and it will get over on Saturday, when there will be a final communique in which we'll get to know the final details over what this draft is all about. It's just an announcement that, okay, that both sides have come to this conclusion that this draft will serve as a basis of future negotiations. And as the minister said, that it's a living document. That, of course, diplomatically seems that it will be a document which will be subject to changes through consensus from both the sides, the ASEAN side and from China. And remember, this dispute has been a cause of concern for not only the region, but for everyone from Washington to Delhi and across other countries also, because this region has a lot of trading routes passing through it. And just yesterday only, the Indian foreign minister spoke in the parliament and said that India believes in freedom of navigation and freedom of overflight. And this has been something that has been diplomatically troubling Beijing, because Beijing believes that through the 9-dash line, it can, of course, has the entire region, the South China Sea. But there have been a number of overlapping claims from other ASEAN countries. Critics have been saying that, yes, the document might be, both the sides have come to this conclusion over the document, but this might be a way through which Beijing might be trying to get more time, buy more time, something that we have seen from China. It's China's own modus operandi, but only time will tell what happens. But as of now, everyone is waiting for the details, because as they say, devil is in the detail. Just an announcement has been made so far from Singapore.
All right, Siddhant, what does it mean for America's aggressive stand of sending warships and the freedom of navigation principle as far as this development is concerned?
Well, of course, Washington is concerned with aggressive posturing by Beijing in South China Sea, and we have seen a lot of major changes done by Washington, including changing the name of its command to Indo-Pacific, and we have seen more and more usage of this term Indo-Pacific. Even just on Monday, Washington announced its plan, $113 million infrastructure plan in the Indo-Pacific region, and Washington and New Delhi both have been saying that ASEAN is central to this Indo-Pacific region. Remember, all the countries are more and more eager to use this terminology, Indo-Pacific, but only one country is not eager to use the term. That's Beijing, because Beijing is not only shying away, Beijing knows the acceptance of this term means inclusion of India into the entire ecosystem of the region, and this is something that Washington is also backing. But by and large, yes, the presence of US warship is a cause of concern for Beijing, but this is a region that requires diplomatic solution rather than solution that causes some kind of escalation of the situation. And of course, war is something nobody wants.